See the former East in bloom again. In the small town of Pirna near the Czech border, Cole's vision is on display at the weekly market where the vegetables and flower stalls show off a healthy local harvest. In 1990, Pirna's medieval centre was run down and deserted. Today, it's elegantly restored. The streets are alive with shoppers and tourists. But scratch the shiny surface here and you'll find dissatisfaction and fear.
It's not as nice here as it used to be. You now see so many foreigners on the streets, and it's no longer safe.
Berthold Kaschke is a retired secretary and has lived near Pirna all her life. She says the only political party that will listen to her concerns about immigration is the Alternative for Germany Party, or AFD. Many here share her views. 34% of the town voted for the AFD, compared with the 13% it received nationwide. Its leaders pledged to close the borders and, in their words, take their nation back. The immigrant population of Saxony is actually rather small, just over 2%. One of them is a man who would only identify himself as Masoud. He's from Morocco and came to Germany for a better life, but he feels unwanted by his neighbours.
They don't like to see us here. These people, they think they are humanity and we are not humanity. You are Muslim, also they are racist also for Islam. I don't know why.
45-year-old street cleaner Dagmar Horst was born and raised here. She voted for the AFD because she feels ignored and forgotten. She says everyone is obsessed with integrating refugees and migrants, but says she doesn't even feel at home in a reunified Germany. Many in the former communist East feel they're treated like second-class citizens.
We're just expected to keep our mouths shut and put up with this filthy foreigner trash. That's the truth. I'm not a Nazi. I'm not anything.
Such language and hatred is something activist Sebastian Reisig has been fighting against for the last 2 decades.
Das Thema der accepting and embracing diversity is something we're still working on.
Also born here, Reisig founded a non-profit to counter the skinhead neo-Nazi culture that began to thrive after the collapse of communism. He says he thought they'd made progress.
Dass die AfD hoch abschneidet, I'd accepted that the AfD were going to do well. It was obvious. But that they did so well here is horrifying. I'm still in shock, and I'm not sure I've quite taken it in.
Reisig notes that it wasn't until after 1989 that the residents of Pirna even began to discuss a notorious incident in the city's past. Here in the castle, the Nazis gassed 15,000 mentally ill people. He worries that failure to acknowledge Nazi atrocities makes some more susceptible to looking for scapegoats today. For NPR News, I'm Esme Nicholson in Pirna, Saxony.
This is All Things Considered from NPR News.
This is News 88.9 KNPR. It's 4:48. Support for Nevada Public Radio comes from Southwest Gas, providing natural gas service throughout Nevada. Installing a high-efficiency natural gas water heater can save up to 8% compared to a standard model. Information about natural gas water heater efficiency options at swgas.com. And from Vegas PBS, Channel 10, presenting the conclusion of Ken Burns' The Vietnam War, Richard Nixon resigns and North Vietnamese troops take Saigon. For the next 40 years, Americans and Vietnamese search for healing and reconciliation. This evening at 8, information at vegaspbs.org.
Reno is trying to fight the rising number of pedestrian deaths on its streets. One proposal, banning people from gazing into their cell phones while crossing the street. Then Las Vegas resident Norma Ramirez is a DACA recipient and now part of a lawsuit against the Trump administration. We'll talk to her and her attorney. And climate change is starting to affect the habitat of the Nevada state tree, the bristlecone pine. That's this evening from 7 to 8 on State of Nevada.
We moved here more than 30 years ago, and we were so afraid there would be no culture in Las Vegas. We were very pleased to find KNPR, Nevada Public Radio. This is such a wonderful resource for our community. My name is Anne Louise Pugh, and I'm a proud member of Nevada Public Radio.
Become a member now at KN.
Head south on Paradise Road. In 1,000 feet, turn right onto East Harmon Avenue. You are on the fastest route despite usual traffic. You should reach your destination by 5:05 p.m. Continue on Paradise Road for 1 mile. Continue on East Flamingo Road for 2 miles.